Mandates, Part 3. So if mandates really do more harm than good, why would politicians, government bureaucrats, NGOs, and corporations advocate for them? Well, to answer that, we must apply the old adage of follow the money. Using our electric car example, let's ask ourselves, who benefits from electric car mandates? To my mind, the following possibilities occur. First off, government. Government clearly benefits from the mandate because electric cars give government more control and power. And these two are the bread and butter, the aphrodisiac of governments, especially tyrannical governments like Gavin Newsom's. If everyone is using an electric car, the government can turn the cars on and off. How? Quite simple. Like Seinfeld's soup Nazi, they can now become electric Nazis. Oh, sorry, no charge for you. With the flick of a switch, they can effortlessly enforce the rules on good law-abiding citizens. Like when you get to drive, how far you get to drive, how often, all in the guise of reducing traffic congestion, noise, you name it, all for the greater good. Oh, you needed to go to your aunt's funeral? Sorry, but that's on a Sunday. And you're only allowed to drive on a Wednesday, and even then for only a half an hour. And the best part of all, they can allocate the funds that they were going to use to build more roads, to handle more traffic, towards other pet projects, as they've solved the problem simply by reducing the traffic. Politicians, they're our next group. And of course, the politicians, for them, this is dynamite. Their kids get cushy board seats on auto companies and parts suppliers. Don't believe me? Just look at Paul Pelosi Jr.'s cushy gigs with two major lithium producers that are making toxic car batteries. By the way, Nancy Pelosi is Gavin Newsom's aunt, if you didn't know. Politicians also get to invest in the stocks at the right time, in the right automakers that will get preferred treatment under the freshly minted endless reams of new regulations that soon will be spewed upon the subjects of California by unelected, unaccountable California state agencies. No wonder Nancy loves that insider trading stuff. Don't laugh though, even though California is the epicenter of all forms of insanity these days, it's not long before leaders elsewhere will drink that Kool-Aid. Next group would be automakers. Now on the surface, you would think that automakers must be the losers in this equation. Not so, my friends. Automakers also benefit from the mandate because they get to unload their brand new products onto everybody, even those consumers that don't want them. Remember the injections? The government, with the stroke of a pen, or these days by the click of a mouse, can create a behemoth new multi-billion-dollar industry. Now, normally creating new markets usually takes research and development, tons of investment, and decades of hard work, not to mention a little thing called demand. Nah, that's so yesterday. Today, for a fraction of the price and time that type of innovation would require, car makers can instantly fill their trunks with the same benefit through mandates. And the best part of all, they don't even have to make good cars. Think vaccines. They just have to make electric cars. That sounds comforting. What could go wrong with that, right? Finally, we arrive at consumers. When it comes to benefits for consumers, I'm reminded of another old adage. Shit rolls downhill. Well, the good news is if you have piles of it, which we will as consumers, benefits a little less so. Consumers get the camshaft. Get it? I know. I couldn't help myself. You'll be glad to know that you, along with other consumers, will be forced to buy an inferior, expensive product that you more than likely don't want and don't need. Kind of sort of like vaccines, huh? But it's not all bad. In their quest to govern you harder, you no longer have to purchase inexpensive used cars. Why? Simple. They're now banned. And guess who's really happy about that little turn of events? Yes, Big Auot. After all, the mandates just wiped out their main competition while at the same time really adding to their bottom line. Not to mention the little bump up in the stock prices, right, Nancy? Due to the reduced competition. Now, I'm sure none of the politicians advocating this have shares in any of these companies, right? Now, don't worry, folks. It gets even better for consumers. Well, now there won't be any real market for electric used cars at all either. Primarily because even if a used electric car may still be in reasonable condition, it's highly unlikely the battery is. Of course, if you bring any of this up, they'll remind you that you need to do your part for Mother Earth. Don't you want to reduce carbon dioxide emissions or something? Now, of course, if you dare ask them to quantify exactly how it's going to benefit you or somebody living in LA, don't be surprised if you hear something like, by ensuring the beaches in Monterey don't go underwater, stupid. Anyways, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I will have another part for you soon. We'll call it part 4. I was originally going to do this as a 3-part series, but there's a little bit more I'd like to cover off. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Rumble and my Locals account, and I will see you next time.